Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Don, and today I'm doing a video on how to kennel or crate train just about any animal. I'm not a vet or a trainer, so please check with a professional before trying these strategies. Guys, this was my wonderful dog Kimba for over 14 years, and as you can see, he absolutely loved his kennel. I'm doing this video to try to help your dog get as much enjoyment out of their kennel as Kimba did from his. And it starts with the actual kennel that you get, or the crate that you get, guys. And I want to talk to you about the one that I got for Kimba. And even if you have a horse or a larger animal, please watch this video. I'm going to get into strategies that can help you as well as safety measures you can take, guys, that can help save your animal's life. So please watch this whole video. But let's talk about the actual kennel that I chose for Kim. And I got one with a lot of air holes in it for proper ventilation. You can take the door off. You can take the top half of it off. Guys, this gives you a lot of options. So if your animal feels intimidated by going in there, you can take off the door in the top half. That's going to make the whole thing wide open. It's going to make it more inviting for them. Another thing you want to do is make sure you're getting the right size. If you have a larger dog, you need to make sure they can completely turn around comfortably in there. If you have a very small dog, you do not want to be getting a large kennel like this. It's too much room in most cases, okay? Now, you don't want to get them the tiniest one. You want to make sure they can turn around and maybe give them a little extra space. But sometimes, guys, getting them too much space, you might think that's a good thing. Not always. You got to start thinking like an animal. Think about it. Dogs are descendants of wolves. What do wolves do? They dig dens. They feel comfortable in small places. They feel safe. They know nothing is going to come from behind. Nothing is going to come from the sides. They can see out front. They like these places as long as they can come and go on their own terms, guys. But you can make this so enjoyable for them that when the time comes and you do shut the door on them, they will know they've had so many good times in there when the door is open that they'll cope with that. They're going to be okay with that. But get the right size, okay? Now, the other thing I did was I had handles installed. And this really helped because later in life, Kim was having trouble with his legs, and there's times where we had to transport him in there, shut the door, and then several people can take hold of these handles and use this as a transport carrier. So guys, think of all the different uses you can use. If you're going to do that, have it customized by professionals, okay? Now the other thing is the placement of the kennel, especially if you're going to leave the animal alone. You don't want this by a window where the sun is going to be hitting it all day. If you have it across the room where they could look out the window, but the sun is not hitting them. In other words, you want to anticipate all these things, guys. If you're going to be at work all day and you've got your animal in there, they could overheat. You want to make sure you've got the proper ventilation, air conditioning, if you can do that. Think all these things through. But guys, what I did with Kimba is I put this in the room. I made it as comfortable as I can. Now, I had about a half a dozen different beds for Kimba. I was able to leave them there and just add this as another one. For most people, I'm going to tell you, if you have multiple beds and multiple comfortable places for your animal, take them away for a temporary period of time while you're getting them used to the kennel. Once they get used to the kennel, very important you bring those other beds back. And the reason for that, guys, is check out my video on strategies to delay dementia in animals. That will explain why you want to bring back all those other beds. But for the temporary time while you're getting them used to the kennel, you want this to be the one go-to place. I put a comfortable bed in there for Kimber, and I put a very thick towel on top of the bed. The towel is for two purposes. Number one, it makes the bed even more comfortable, makes the kennel more inviting. The other thing the towel does is it keeps the bed clean. You do not have to wash the bed very often. You simply wash the towel once a week. Every day you can take the towel out and just kind of shake it outside and then bring it in, put it back in there, and they have a comfortable place. So what I did, guys, is I just set that in the room. I took the door off and gave Kimber the opportunity to go in there on his own terms when he was good and ready. Some of the mistakes a lot of people make, especially with cats, they buy these little cat carriers to take them to the vet, and the day they buy it, they simply take the cat, they pick him up, and they put him in, and then they zipper it up, forcing the cat to go in there. There are some that will put up with that, guys. There's others that will hate that. If you've already done that, what you might could do is take that away for a week and then reintroduce it by just doing what I did, putting it in the room, opening it up so they could go in and out on their own terms. Here's what Kimber did. He ignored it most of the day, which is part of his charming personality. Oh, he saw it. He knew it was there, but he purposely ignored it. I knew as he was walking by, he could see it out of the corner of his eye. But his attitude was what are you doing here? Okay, so he ignored it. A few hours later, though, he stopped and he looked at it, checked it out a little bit, walked by, ignored it again. By the end of the day, he was sticking his head in there, looking around. It was almost like he was taking measurements. Like, hey, this might be a nice hangout spot. Guys, by the next day, I could not get him out of there. You'd see him lounging in there. He loved his kennel. Now, if your creature doesn't take to it as simple as Kimber, what you could do is start putting food nearby. Start feeding him his meals very close to the kennel. And then start actually putting food inside. Start tossing treats in there. That doesn't work. Take the top off. Make it less intimidating. Take the door off. You can get to the point where you're feeding him his entire meal. He's hungry in the morning, you take his breakfast, you put it inside the crate. That can turn into their cafeteria, guys. Make it a very desirable place. 99% of them are going to go in there. They're going to have no reason not to eventually, guys. And they're going to love it in there. Then you could start putting the roof back on. And then when you go to shut the door, make sure you do it when they're real hungry and you've given them a lot of food. They're going to associate that door closing with the reward, food when they are hungry. Okay? They are very food motivated. This will become a very pleasant place for them, guys. And then if they have to be in there for an extended period of time with the door shut, they're going to know that they have spent some very pleasant times in there. And what you might want to do, guys, in some cases is continue feeding them in there. Even when you're home, you can take the door off. So it's not only used as a place to confine them. See, this is a mistake I think a lot of people are making with these crates and kennels. They're only using it to confine them, and the dog is associating it, or the cat, or whatever the animal is, as this is almost a place of punishment. You go in there to be confined. See, there are times that I shut the door with Kimber, but 99% of the time it was open. He could come and go. So he didn't mind all that much. When I shut the door, I gave him some food. He was rewarded. Told him what a good dog dog he was. And he's thinking about all the times that he gets to choose on his own terms. And between the comfortable bed and all the meals, guys, they will be getting endorphins produced in their mind just by the sight of that kennel or crate, because they're thinking of, that's my cafeteria, that's my kitchen, that's where I'm being fed, I got this comfortable bed. That's up to you guys to help make this a very inviting place. Check out other videos, Knowledge Up. Now guys, if you have a horse or a large animal or a pig, and you have a different type of an area you're going to put them in, like a horse has been out to pasture and they don't like going into their stall. Do some research on the best forms of enrichment for your animal, okay? For a horse, it might be a carrot. Only give them the carrot when you put them in the stall, so they realize, hey, whenever I go into the stall, I get something special. Maybe some extra fresh hay that you put into the stall. Things that they're going to get that they could look forward to. Knowledge up on this, guys. Whatever creature you have, you can make their place a go-to place that they're going to enjoy while they're in there. And you can have them be completely content, not thinking I'm only being confined in here. I'm getting extra special treats that I usually don't get, only when I'm in there. Think the whole thing through, guys. The other thing I'm going to talk to you about is how much time they're spending in that kennel, guys. So, are they spending all day in there while you're at work? And then if you're somebody who is very socially active and you come home from work for just a brief time and now you're out and they're in there again, how much of their life, guys, are they spending in there? This is something you really need to think through, okay? Did God create them to spend that much time in there? Guys, there's people on different sides of the fence with something like that, okay? And my answer to that, guys, is again, did God create this animal to spend 99% of its life like that? My answer is no. So think this through. That there's a lot of people who love animals but don't realize, is this fair? They want to spend time with you. How much time are you able to spend with the animal? Work that all out, guys. Now, here's another thing I do want to talk to you about. When they are alone in the home, confined in here, do you have some type of video surveillance system? I am a big fan of those, guys. You know, dogs and cats and other animals, they observe the world through their senses, especially their noses and their mouths. They pick up AAA batteries and they take them back to their kennels that you might not know about. Now they're chewing on it like a toy, okay? Getting toxins, they could swallow it, they could choke, they could die from these things. If you have a video surveillance system where you could not only see them, you can hear them, you can talk to them. Guys, these are safety features. If there's a fire, you can see what's going on. Inspect their kennels every day. Inspect the floor, guys. Get on the floor on your hands and knees and look around. You will see what the animal sees. If a battery fell off the table and rolled underneath, you will now see it, so you can get it before your animal gets it. But these surveillance systems, guys, they can make a difference between life and death. But guys, I hope I just pointed you in the right direction. The whole thing about using these crates and kennels, which ones you get, where you put them, how you introduce them to the animal, how much time they spend giving the animal the proper balance, guys, of time in the kennel, time out, and letting them spend a lot of time on their own terms where they have the choice to go in and out is going to help them enjoy their kennel the way Kimba enjoyed his. If this video helped you, I hope you will subscribe to my channel and click on the like icon and take this journey to a world of wisdom that can help you and your animals live a longer, healthier, better quality of life. God bless and be well.